Hello everyone, welcome to Chanchu's economics class. Today we are going to see the topic demand and determinants of demand. So demand. Demand is not a mere desire but desire with a willingness and capacity to buy a commodity. So if a person is having a desire alone, it will never be converted into a demand unless and until they have the ability to pay and the willingness to buy the commodity. So, see, for example, a 10-year-old boy, if you would like to own a car, so he has a desire to buy, but he don't have the capacity to pay. So, it will never be converted into a demand. At the same time, sometimes we go for shopping and we see a commodity and we would like to buy, we'll have the desire. At the same time, we'll have the ability to pay also, we will have that is we'll have money with us, but we may not be having the willingness to pay. That is, no, we would be like we would be thinking that okay, if somebody purchases and gives me as a gift, if my father gives me as a gift, I'm ready to get it, or if someone gives me as a gift, I'm ready to own the commodity, but I'll not be ready to pay it from myself, and I'll not be ready to purchase it by myself. So here that's why we say that there is the requirement of desire to buy, ability to pay and the willingness to pay. Clear? So all these things together only constitute demand. Okay, so we say that it is not a mere desire but desire with the willingness and capacity to buy a commodity. Now I will give you one definition. So, according to Stoner and Haig, he tells that demand in economics means desire backed up by enough money to pay for the goods demanded. So, according to his definition, he tells that demand means it is you should have the desire, at the same time you should have the capacity to pay. That is enough money to pay, then only if you have the money only you will be purchasing. So, according to him, demand means it is desire backed up by enough money to pay. Now we'll see the what is demand schedule. That is the concept based on the demand. We should know regarding what is demand schedule and what is demand curve. So demand schedule. See, a demand schedule means it is a list of different quantities of a commodity which consumers purchase at different point of time. See, we are telling about demand. So when we tell about demand, usually you have to remember one thing, that is from the consumer's point of view only we'll be discussing when we are speaking about the demand schedule, or it can be like law of demand or factors determine everything we see from the consumer's point of view, because consumers are the person who demand the commodity. Okay, so here demand schedule, it means the list of different quantities of a commodity which consumers purchase at different period of time. Clear? Just the listing of the price and the quantity demanded is said to be the demand schedule. Okay, it is a schedule. Schedule means itself it is just the listing of the quantities of a commodity which consumers purchase at a different point of time. Okay, and this demand schedule is classified into individual demand schedule and the market demand schedule. So yeah, this is the demand schedule. So when you plot this in the graph, this is said to be the demand curve. Okay, see, we have seen the market demand schedule. So here you have the price, you have consumer A's demand, B's demand and market demand. So for the market demand schedule, you will be plotting the price and this market demand. Okay, that is the first column and the fourth column you will be plotting it, and when you plot this first and the that table has been plotted over here. So here you have in the y-axis you have the price and the x-axis you have the quantity demanded. So when you plot it, you will get a demand curve which slopes downwards, and this is for an individual person, so you tell it as an individual demand curve. Okay, and the same way the fourth column you will get this demand curve which slopes downwards. Okay, and always y-axis price is measured and the x-axis the quantity demanded is measured. So this is said to be the market demand curve. That is nothing but the summation of all the individual demand curves is said to be the market demand curve. Okay. Yeah. Now we'll move on to the next concept, that is determinants of demand. See, this determinants of demand is also called as the factors affecting demand. In some of the books you can find it as a factors affecting demand, and some of the books determinants of demand. That is, see, we have spoke about what is demand. So now, what are the factors which changes the demand? That is, no, see, like one point of time, at a particular time, no, we would like to own something, and after some time we will not like to own the commodity. So it changes. So there are various factors which affects the demand, which makes or which converts the demand. So that factors only we are going to see now. Okay. So these are some of the factors. That is, first one is the income of the consumer. See, when the income of the consumer changes, automatically the demand will get changed. See, for example, a person is getting an income of 25,000 rupees per month. So when he is getting 25,000 rupees per month, like he may be getting monthly he'll be affording 500 rupees to get a shirt. Now from that 25,000 rupees he has got an increment, and his 25,000 has changed to 35,000 rupees. So now he will, like, based on the income, what he could have what he will be doing is he will increase the demanding of the commodity. Clear? So maybe like only one shirt he could have taken earlier, now he has the ability to purchase two shirts. So when the income of the person changes, obviously the demand will be changed. At the same time, vice versa also, if the income decreases, so from 25,000, if his income suddenly, it may be because of, like, he has taken a long leave, so he have only like half month of his salary, so he will not be taking any shirt. So as his income decreases, the demand also will decrease, right? So this factor, income of the consumer, will make changes in the demand. Okay. And next is the taste and preference. The taste and preference of the people will, as it changes, the demand also changes. See, like, a person may be preferring to, like in the age of, we can find that at the age of 20, the person will be preferring to have lot of fast food items, and he prefer for fast food items. So what happens is the demand for fast food item increases. You can find that the same person maybe at the age of 40, he'll not be interested in the fast food items, right? So the taste and preference keeps changing. So when the taste and preference keeps changing, the demand also gets changed. At the age of 20, the person will be demanding for fast food items, and at the age of 40, he'll be preferring for healthy items. Okay. So the taste and preference changes the demand for the commodity. Next is the price of substitutes. That is, if the price of the substitute commodity changes, obviously there will be changes in the demand. That is, usually the substitutes in the sense that in the place of one commodity, when you are able to use in another commodity, it is called as a substitute. So usually the tea and coffee are the best substitutes. That is, when you're going to a bakery or a cafeteria, and they are you want a coffee, and they tell you that now the coffee is not available, immediately go for a tea, right? So this, let us know, in the place of one commodity, when you are able to utilize other commodity, it is called as a substitute. Now here it is based on the price of substitutes. That is, the price of substitutes, that is, if the price of coffee goes very high, obviously the people those are interested in coffee also may change to demand for tea. Clear? For example, the price of coffee is, usual price is 20 rupees. Now suddenly no, the price has increased for coffee and it has gone to 50. So the persons those are usually regularly those are consuming coffee also may change to drink tea because the price has increased. So that's why we say that the price of the substitute commodity will change the demand for the other commodity. The same way the price of the complements, that is complements in the sense that again it is a complementary goods. So complementary goods in the sense that those goods which are jointly consumed, we will tell it as a complementary goods. Okay, example shoe and socks, car and petrol, all this will be the complementary goods which you consume it together. And here if the price of one commodity, that is in the case of the jointly demanded goods, if the price of one commodity changes also, the demand for the other commodity will change. Okay, see for example, if the price of shoes changes, the consumption, that is the demand for shoes will come down. When the demand for shoes come down, obviously the demand for socks also will come down. Even though the price of socks has never changed, when I purchase a shoe only, there is a necessity for a socks. Okay, so the price of complementary goods also will make changes in the demand. Next is advertising. See, in this trend or in this era, you can find that advertising plays a very big role, because based on the advertisement only, whether like we need a commodity or not, we are ready to demand for a commodity based on advertisement. So this advertisement plays a big role in changes in the demand, because many of us, whether it is a requirement or not, we are ready to purchase the commodity just by the advertisement of the commodity. So this advertisement will surely change the demand for the commodity. Next is regarding the size of population. See, if the size of the population changes, obviously there will be changes in demand. For example, like if the size of the family is four members in a family, and like for 2 months you have a guest in your family, and it has become six. So when the size of your family has become six, obviously you demand all the commodities for six people, so the demand changes. The same way vice versa. Okay, that is, if the size has decreased to two people, you decrease the demand for all the commodities. So that also, size of the population also affect the changes in demand. Next is the climatic conditions. That is, based on the climatic conditions, you will be changing the demand. So we all know that in winter season we go for hot drinks, that is we go for tea, coffee, etc. So the demand for tea and coffee increases in the winter season. And summer season we go for tender coconut juice. So the demand for tender coconut juice, etc., all those things will be high. So based on the climatic conditions, the demand changes for the commodities. And future expectation. See, if you have any expectation of changes in price of the commodity, there will be changes in demand. For example, so you have an assumption, that is you have an expectation that after 6 months there will be a rise in the price of gold, and also it increases to 50 percentage. So what you will do is, you will purchase, that is no, if you are in a plan to purchase gold, now itself you will purchase it and keep, because no, after 6 months anyway it will increase. So at that time you cannot purchase, right? So because of future expectation, there is changes in demand. The same way, like after 6 months there will be a fall in the price of gold, like to 50%. Then if you are in need of gold also, you will just, if possible, you will just wait for 6 months, you will see whether there is any changes in the market, and then you will purchase the commodity. Okay, so the future expectation also will bring changes in the demand. So these are the some of the factors which affects the demand. Okay, I think you could have understood. So today we have seen what is demand, we have seen, and then we have seen what is demand schedule, what is demand curve, and then the factors or the determinants of demand. So thank you all. If you have any suggestions, just post a comment. And if you are really interested in my video, do support me by clicking the like button, share it, and also subscribe the channel. Thank you everybody.